Brian, how much different was this game than kind of some of the defensive games you had last year in terms of both confidence and execution for you guys?
I think we had a lot of confidence in our plan, and as a defense, we just came in with a mentality that we're just going to run after the ball, and just take your shot, and there'll be a guy to back you up. So I think with that, we had a lot of confidence in the guy next to us. Felt like we were all over the place today.
Taquan, Coach put a lot of emphasis on improving your passing game coming into the offseason. And you had kind of a rough first half, and then you really kind of kicked it into gear in the second half. What made the difference from first half to second half?
Lost my confidence in the first half after missing a couple balls. Just got really frustrated with myself. And then second half, I think throwing the first couple short routes kind of built my confidence back up, and then I was just trying to just play at that point.
Taquan, in the second quarter, big hit. You were limping. Was that a result of that hit? Because it was like a few plays after, and is everything fine now?
Yeah, just flipped me on my plant leg. But I'm good to go. Yeah, everything's fine.
Can you talk about the touchdown pass you threw? That was quite an improvisation there, dancing around. Then you time, Brad.
It was cover 2 at the top on the double move, so I really knew I wasn't going that way. Probably should have checked another play, but just tried to roll with it. Me and Jalen were on the same page. As soon as he turned around and looked at me, we both knew I wasn't throwing it to him, so I just tried to make something happen. I thought I was going to run, but a guy up the middle kind of stopped that, so I just tried to get back and, see who was open. I saw Brad throw his hand up the corner, was coming up, thought I was running, just tried to put it in his hands.
Brant, you played a lot of guys on defense. What was your overall evaluation of the depth on defense and how the team played?
I think we played pretty well. I mean, anytime you can hold them to nothing, I'd say you're doing pretty good. But, yeah, we did. We got a lot of guys in today. Some guys necessarily without experience, and we got a lot of freshmen playing. They came in and, they performed just like we'd expect them to. We put just as much emphasis on preparing our first string, as our second string. We put just as much emphasis on our second, third string as we do our first. So because, you never know when somebody's going to go down or what's going to happen. So guys were prepared, felt like we came out and executed pretty well today.
Taquan, for the pitch, it was working pretty well. Several long runs. What were you seeing on those plays?
The guys were really taking me hard on the defensive side. I mean, from me carrying out my fake to me actually having the ball, they were coming down on me pretty hard, so I just put the ball in the guys' hands and let them run. And, I mean, as you can see, it was pretty successful.
Brand, it seemed like the open field tackling was night and day from last year as well. Has that been something you guys have really been working on, and you feel like that's going to be a point of emphasis for your defense this year?
Personally, my open field tackling wasn't too good. Say that right now. We had a lot of missed tackles. Me personally, I did. So not the best day, but yeah, I mean, the ones we did make in the open field, I just feel like we're flying around with a lot more confidence than we did last year, because in practice, coach emphasizes so much on just running to the ball. You take your shot, there's always going to be somebody there to tackle them if you miss it. So I think confidence was a big key in really being successful in open field tackling today.
Right, one thing you guys wanted to do coming into this year was create more turnovers. Do you think that the way you guys played today, you got them to put the ball on the ground a few times, got a couple of picks, and almost created a bunch more? Was that encouraging, the way you guys almost made some plays and did make some turnovers?
Yeah, anytime you get some turnovers, it's always encouraging. And we're going to have to continue to do that throughout the year if we want to be successful with our defense. But yeah, there's been an emphasis. Anytime you want to be a good defense, you've got to get the ball out and you've got to create turnovers. So, we're going to continue to harp on that in practice, and we'll just continue out the season, see how many we can get down the road.
Brand, you talked about freshmen getting a chance to play. Quan Griffin wasn't in there that long, but the short time he was in there, it seemed like he was pretty disruptive. What have you seen from him in practice leading up to this game?
Yeah, I mean, he's ever since he's been here during camp, he's a kid that knows how to fly around, and he's aggressive. He's got good moves inside the box, and came out today and made some really good stops, some key stops for us.
On the interception, was that just you, like a mystery between you and the receiver, or do you remember what happened there?
No, it's mostly my fault. Jalen kind of told me on the sideline what he was doing, and I thought it was something else, but I really put the ball in the bad spot. So, I mean, it was really all on me.
Can you talk about what it's like seeing the defense put up a 0 and kind of the way they were playing? I imagine that to be encouraging when you guys weren't clicking in the first half offensively.
Defense was flying around. I thought they did a phenomenal job getting us back on the field. I mean, 2 of 11 for Alcorn State on third down. I mean, that's pretty dang good. So they were getting the ball back in our hands. We had some pretty good returns. So, I mean, it was exciting being able to, be on the sideline and watch the defense work, especially with the new defense, just see the guys fly around and just have fun with it, because it looked like they were having a lot of fun out there. So I was super excited about what they were doing.
I want to ask you about 2-year linemen. First, how did you do with Jahaziel? And then second, Andrew Marshall playing his first game since 16, excuse me.
We had a couple hiccups, me and Jahaziel did. Ball was on the ground a couple times. I think it was a couple short snaps. But, I mean, we'll be fine. And it's exciting being able to see Andy get back out there. I know he's been dying to get back out there. It's been a long time coming for him. He's been working really hard. He recovered really hard. So it's exciting to have him back out there.
What was both of you? What was your reactions when you saw Jalen Camp's catch and then when you saw it didn't count?
I mean, phenomenal catch. Brad said it earlier, Jalen has some of the best hands on the team. Strong hands, pretty terrible ball, caught it with one hand, with the toe in bounds. I mean, I just saw the video downstairs. He was showing me, but it was definitely a catch. I mean, I think maybe they didn't think he had possession of the ball completely, but other than that, it was for sure a catch. He had a toe in.
From a leadership standpoint, for both of you guys, going into week 2, now it's a away game, so a lot of young guys don't know about that kind of thing. What are you guys going to be talking about this week amongst yourselves so far as to prepare for that game?
Well, like they say, your biggest improvement is from game 1 to game 2, and we need that to happen. We're a lot of mistakes that are going to cost us in bigger games down the road. I know next week, group of guys down there, they know how to play, and so being our first away game, it's going to be a little bit different of an atmosphere. So the focus has got to be even that much more on your assignment, and so we've really just got to emphasize on the defensive side is just focus, but still go out there and play how you know how to play, and take care of itself.
I don't think we have to harp on anything too much. I mean, we're playing another football game, so everybody's going to be excited. Last year we struggled on the road, so that's one of the things we're trying to change. So I don't think we'll really have to overemphasize anything. I mean, the young guys went out there and played pretty well today, so I don't think I need to say anything to them to get in their heads just because it's an away game. It'll be the same game next week, just on the road. Like Brent said, it'll be a different atmosphere, but the atmosphere will make it fun, so everybody will be flying around.
All right. Anything else?
Brant, the mistakes and corrections you need to make, what are some of the things you want to clean up on defense?
Personally, tackling for me, missed way too many tackles today. But other than that, we're flying to the ball. We're doing a great job with that. But yeah, and just little things like communication. I know a couple times we messed up some of our calls due to communication issues. But yeah, I think this week tackling will probably be a pretty good emphasis for us.
All right. Thank you, fellas.
Cale, you mentioned you redshirting last year. First of all, what was that experience like, having to stand on the sidelines and not being able to play? And what was your feeling when you first got out on the field?
Well, it was pretty much just learning, watching Law, Austin, CG. So about time they called my name, called my number, I felt like I was ready, technique-wise and athletic-wise.
David, can you talk about the play with the scoop and score? I imagine after the long year you've had, that had to be a pretty satisfying moment for you.
Yeah, well, it's just it was one of their stretch plays. We decided it was one of their good plays that they run, and so I read it well, and I was actually going to tackle the running back, and all of a sudden the ball was right there. So it was just a routine scoop and score. We practice that in practice all the time. So it was nothing special. Just the ball was there for me. I picked it up and ran.
Now that both of you guys have played a game in Nate Woody's defense, I mean, what were your overall thoughts on the scheme he drew up and just the aggressiveness that you guys showed out there?
I'd say, like Coach Johnson, everybody was saying the whole time, it's not about them, it's about us. And with this new defense, I want to say it's simple, and that's what it is, because I don't know if it looked like it to y'all, but there's no confusion. Everybody is flying around. I mean, you got defensive linemen making tackles on the sideline. The ball pops out. I just felt like we ran really well as a defense today. And, we got turnovers on turnovers, and that's what we need to take week to week is continue to build on that. And as long as we run, I can miss a tackle, and he'll be right behind me to make that tackle, So that's what we train. We train our legs to run and run and run. And hopefully you have your brother's back right behind you that's going to make the tackle for you.
Caleb, on the interception, did you read the quarterback the whole way, or what were you seeing back there?
Pretty much. I leaned towards number 2. And then when I saw him release the ball, I saw it was over his head of the receiver. So went back to number 3, and then I could just make the play.
How mad were you when you saw the flag when you turned around after you scored?
I was still pretty ecstatic because it's my first collegiate game. So I was happy just to get, an interception, like my first collegiate interception. But it's okay. It's just the effort. I'm glad that my team was showing effort to block for me.
It seemed like they rolled you and Tariq pretty regularly at strong. Kind of, how did that work for you?
It's just like in camp. Like one day he would start, and then the other day I would start, so it's pretty normal.
Are you guys just glad to have one now that you know what it looks like and against the real team?
I mean, heck yeah! I'm talking and. We're just glad to be able to hit somebody other than our offensive lineman and our A-backs. It was awesome to be out there to run around and fly around with your guys against another team, And so, yeah, that experience is, we both need. We haven't played. Neither of us have played in a long time. And so, I needed that experience big time. He did too. And so I felt like it really helped our defense.
David, can you just kind of expound on that a little bit about having been gone for so long and to finally get on the field, and what did that feel like to be out there and to be making plays?
Well, yeah, of course, I've had I would call it I was on a bad luck train for a little bit. I'd never been hurt before that, so, it was kind of, I don't want to say it was depressing, but, it was kind of down in the dumps. But, I always thought about, I'm going to come back stronger than ever. And, I felt like after I got my first few touchdowns, or not my first few tackles, and then I got the touchdown, I finally felt like I'm back. I'm back in my groove, and it felt great. It feels good to be back out there with my brothers and just playing. I just hope to build on that week by week.
David, how do you feel that the linebackers as a unit played today, and how do you think Jaquan Henderson played?
Well, I think the linebackers I felt like there was no fall off, from your ones. We don't really like to say 1s, 2s, and 3s because everybody plays, but from guy to guy, I feel like there was no fall off like you usually have. I feel like everyone ran to the ball, everyone played well. Jaquan Henderson, his nickname is Sonic. I don't know if you can see it, but he's fast as lightning. I thought he played really well, and so I'm very happy with the linebacker play. Very aggressive, and we ran to the ball.
David and Caleb, after playing this game and going from week 1 and week 2, how do you guys feel individually and as a unit you will prepare to get better for next week?
I feel like the only way is up. With this new defense, it's really fast, really aggressive. So I feel like the only thing we can do is get better. There's not much we can do to go backwards.
Yeah, and just, like you said, as a group, everything is, it's more about consistency. So Coach Woody harped on, when you get really good is, everybody's going to run the ball, and there's going to be mistakes. Everyone's going to run the ball, but the more consistent you can get, the better you'll be. So it was everybody's running the ball, and then there's 1 less or 2 less or 5 less busts. You say you have a misfit, but if the more down the road you get, the less there are, the better you're going to be. And, you know, individually, it's just like everybody else, you need experience. I just need experience right now. And, you know, going against linemen and, you know, seeing how physical people are. Because, you know, originally I wasn't a linebacker when I first came into Tech, you know, so it's kind of like, I want to say my first game as a linebacker other than a few years ago. But, you know, so just that experience is what I need, and it felt good today getting out there.
What's it like? I know, David, you played a couple of years ago. You guys played more guys today on defense than I can ever remember here. First of all, morale-wise, I imagine that's pretty big for the room, getting all the guys in the game. But secondly, just in terms of you guys staying fresh, like how important has that been?
Well, like it's very important, you know, because how fast we're running and how much we have to chase the ball. I mean, you can't expect a D lineman to run from the left hash all the way to the sideline and then stay in the game if they get first down after first down. I mean, you got to have guys that are ready to go. So we like to rotate a lot. Next guy's got to be ready to go. That's why I say there should be no fall off from guy to guy. Everybody should be ready to go, and that keeps everyone fresh. You know, and like the guy that came in after me, Jackson. I mean, played lights out. I thought he played fantastic. That's his first game ever in college, just like him. And I mean, I thought he played amazing. So you know, like that's what we need to see. And we'll be getting Bruce back next week. And I mean, he's a phenomenal athlete, like I've told you all. So I mean, I'm excited about how this defense is going to look.
A couple more for Caleb and David.
Hey, Brad, on that touchdown catch, how many seconds went off the clock in your mind?
Oh, gosh. I feel like it was sitting up there for ages. You know, that's just we have a very athletic offense, and we make plays when they're needed. And Taquan got out the pocket and was running around, and I just happened to be open, and it just felt like it was in the sky for about an hour. But no, we just got to continue to make plays like we have been.
Jordan, what was it like today? I mean, you're playing your first collegiate game, and you had to wait last year, and you come out and run the ball really well. Kind of what was going on for you emotionally, and how do you feel like you played?
I mean, I feel like I played great. I mean, not great, but good. I had a little mistake, a little fumble, whatever. But, you know, just to have my family here and me scoring a touchdown, that's everything to me, so I feel good. Yeah.
Jordan, was it important for you playing your first college game to get the carry on your first play and get that out of the way and then go from there, relax a little?
Not really. I mean, I could have blocked my first play, you know. It was whatever, you know.
Brad, it seemed like you guys were out of sync in terms of passing in the first half, and then the second half it seemed to settle down a little bit more. Anything you put your finger on with what the struggles were, or it just kind of took a while to knock the rust off?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that just happens sometimes. I think that I have all the confidence in the world in our offense in every aspect, but sometimes it's not going to go your way. And we had a good talk in the halftime meeting and got on the same page, communicated very well, and came out and executed like we should have. So there's no concern. I think we're going to keep going.
More questions for Brad and Jordan?
Brad, what sort of things were communicated at halftime that was helpful to you?
You know, just Coach Johnson making us realize, you know, second half or first half's over. You know, we did not have the best first half that we possibly could have. And as seniors on the offense, because we have a lot of leaders and a lot of guys coming back, that was unacceptable. So we clearly picked it up, and we started to execute and communicate a lot more efficiently, and we just got to continue that from first quarter now. And I think we're going to get ready this week, and it's going to be a great week.
Right, on the touchdown last year, perhaps that play wouldn't have happened. I mean, this Quan stayed back there, gave you some time to get open, and is that an accurate comparison from last year to this year?
Taquan's just a heck of an athlete. I mean, he's one of the most athletic kids on the team, and he's going to make plays. As simple as that. So I expect nothing less of him. I mean, he's gonna make plays when plays are presented. So.
what do you, Brad, as a senior and kind of a leader of the team, what do you take away from this game, and kind of what do you guys feel like you need to work on?
Yeah, takeaways. I think personally, going into this week, I feel pretty confident. I feel like every mistake we made is something we can fix really easily. And I think, like we have said earlier, with communication, execution, I mean, we just got to get in that film room, see what we did wrong, and really figure out why we did it, how we can fix it, and to actually fix it on the practice field. So takeaways, I mean, I feel pretty positive. I mean, I know it didn't go our way some of the times today, but everything that went wrong is on us, and we can fix that. So.
Anything else?
I'm curious for both of you guys. What did you see Jalen's catch on the sideline, and kind of what was your observations?
Oh, yeah. He was in. He was in. I was just looking at it. I was just looking at the video.
Jumbotron.
What's that?
I seen it on the Jumbotron. He was in.
Yeah. He had his toes in, and his heel was off the. It was over the line, but it was off the ground. Now I don't know what they're looking at up there. I mean, the heel could have touched, but you know, and I'm being biased because you know he's my teammate. But yeah, I mean that was a great play, exceptional, and you know he's got the strongest hands on the team. So I mean he's gonna make plays like that this year. So excited.